It's time. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, for the StarCraft 2 World Championship Series Europe Edition. Challenger. Yes, we're bringing very European StarCraft 2 today. I'm Nathanius, joined by Kat. How are you today, Kat?
I can't do a European. Is that a European accent?
I know. I was just trying to be pretentious and stuck up. I should mention how, should call something hand egg or whatever for no reason.
Well, I'm very excited for this. It's
Are you?
No, not that much. There's no Zergs here, okay? Like this quick disclaimer here, but the players are amazing and there's a lot of really fun players, so you should be excited.
That's true. I mean, I think the matchups that we have for the Europe group are really big. We got another fan favorite player coming in the form of HeroMarine. Yesterday we had Rainer, guys that everybody want to see play, right? Everyone want to see succeed, or they want to see what their tweets are after they lose, and maybe they throw a little cheeky balance wine. But with that being said, we're in Challenger. People are qualifying. People are making money. We've got GSL-style groups. You've seen this before. If you're literally tuning into StarCraft for the first time, I'm very impressed. But the way that it works is 2 players face off, 2 players face off. The winners face off, the losers face off. And then eventually it goes into a big old circle at the end where your favorite player gets eliminated and you go complain on Reddit. With that being said, there is also money on the line, as well as seeding for WCS Fall, which will be taking place in Montreal later on at the start of September. $1,600 for first place, but also those WCS points. When your favorite player doesn't make it to BlizzCon, you can say, well, I thought the Challenger didn't matter. I thought there wasn't that much money on the line, Catch. But those 200 WCS points, turns out, there was.
Yeah, and it's well spread as well, the prize pool, so everyone gets a piece of the pie.
Yeah. What kind of pie would it be? Are you thinking are we
what's
talking
a
like
European pie? Because I was thinking, no, that's
European
the thing.
pie. Europeans eat like meat pies and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
is there a kebab pie? They'd probably do that.
Yeah,
that sounds just awful enough, I think.
I mean, Italy must have pizza. It's technically pie.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Pizza pie.
Pizza pie. That's a pie I'll split any day. So the first matchup that we have, I think we're going to look at today's schedule at some point. We've got HeroMarine going up against SKilllous to start things off. My favorite thing, Protoss player with skill in the name. And then the second matchup will be Petit Drogo versus DNS, which should be great because we didn't have enough PvP yesterday. And this one will hopefully be a little bit less hectic. But yeah, so it's basically HeroMarine versus Protoss. So
yeah, this should be great, and I'm excited for Petit Drogo against DNS as well. Probably the 2 best French Protosses, and very closely.
Are there other French Protosses anymore?
I'm sure there's another, but the point is they're very evenly matched.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And they're both available to vote for as well. So
they are. The
Nation Wars.
I'm gonna do my civic duty and let everybody know about Nation Wars because y'all should be voting as much as you possibly can. It's a new day, actually, which means you can vote for everybody again, including, I believe, this guy. I think I saw him on the list for his country. In the bottom right, we have the red Protoss player. He is SKilllous. Skill. Nikita Gurovich.
Yeah, the Russian hope, only 17 years of age. It is pretty cool. And in the top left-hand side of the map, it is with also a pretty cool name, HeroMarine. Gabriel Segat.
A.K.A. Big Gabe.
Big Gabe is what they call him. Let's see if he can live up to the name.
See if he can live up to it today. The TvP action from yesterday, my mind goes back to we had some very wild games with Future and M. Canning in their first series. Perhaps too wild, honestly.
Yeah, my mind does not want to go there again. Yeah. It's like it was a lot of fun to do.
I've already repressed the memories. I just remember that they played. I don't know what happened in those games anymore.
I was forgetting as it was going on because it was just impossible to keep track. Like, you try to make logical sense of what's going on, like action by action, and it was just, I mean, it wasn't even a bad game. It was a fantastic game, but it was just bizarre.
I was under the impression that SKilllous was such a aggressive, cheesy player that for some reason I almost started today's show by asking, isn't this guy supposed to be in the NA group? He goes for the Cyber Core first with this Probe Scout. So I'm already feeling like he's going to try and do some tough stuff this match. HeroMarine's macro play has been pretty good last season at Challenger and in the last few WCS events. I've liked what I have seen. Foreign Terran players in general struggle in WCS events as far as like getting to those finals go. So the expectation isn't through the roof for a lot of these players, but we know that HeroMarine, as far as Foreign Terrans are concerned, is one of, if not the best.
Up there with just special, I would say, at this point, right?
Yeah.
Thermal didn't qualify yesterday. I think that would have put him in contention. And he tweeted that he wasn't,
wasn't feeling very good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I would say those three are usually the most consistent Terrans.
Which is a shame because Thermal played a really solid TVZ against a laser, but I feel like he mixed it up a little too much versus Raynor. And then, well.
That was honestly impressive by HeroMarine just now. He goes in and knows exactly when he has to back, right? If he has space or not with the Reaper. Gets out alive. That's pretty impressive. Yep. Didn't accomplish anything, though.
He didn't see the Stargate, and that's, I mean, that's what you want to be able to just know what the tech is. That's the point of the Reaper at this point. And I do think that he will suicide it in eventually, but there's just some things that are nice to know. If SKilllous goes for the Oracle opening, he's actually going to go straight for a Phoenix. So he could use it to scout. He could just put it on patrol, but it should shut down a mine drop pretty easily. He can lift up a mine as it gets dropped. And also, of course, if he runs into wherever the medevac goes, trajectory-wise, should be a pretty easy free pickoff for him too.
Yeah, do you think that he should? Yeah, do you think that he should be moving out with these? It seems like he has maybe done his homework and expects the mine drop.
Yeah, I don't know that he needs to move out, but if he does, wait for like 3 Phoenix so that if you do see something, you can catch it off guard or
kill it at least. Right?
Yeah, because the Phoenix can, depending on where like a pylon in the natural or the main base is, if he sees the medevac coming far enough in advance, he should be able to pick up the mines. He should be able to pick up the mines and kill them.
Oh, he'll spot it. Oh, he spots the Phoenixes.
Seeing the Phoenix is really nice here.
Yeah. And so if you're a big Gabe right now, maybe you don't go for the mine drop anymore, right? Use the mine defensively. He still finishes the medevac, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's never bad to have, right? Because the utility is going to be there for the rest of the game in having a medevac.
Mm-hmm.
But I agree. I don't think trying to get aggressive with it is the play here. He's going to move the factory. He's already going straight into his 3-rack setup. Mm-hmm. Now starts the engineering bay. Widowmine could...
What do you think that that tech lab is for on the starport?
I think he's building it for the barracks.
Okay.
And then he's just going to lift it. It's just like a thing Terran players do.
So is this as a response to the Phoenix? Like you don't want more medevacs right now? You don't have anything to produce? Or...
Yeah, just using it to build the add-ons for everything else, I think just makes more sense. Because the point of the Phoenix build is you can't kill a Terran doing a build like this as Protoss. You're just kind of picking things off, being annoying. So you almost take like that Zerg-esque mentality to it, where it's like, all right, I'm just going to do as much as I can while these slightly annoy me and focus on my macro. Because this is, he's not worried about like charge zealots popping up all of a sudden. Although there are Protoss players who do that on ladder. It's not what you expect here in a WCS competition. So he's just going to macro up. The only thing that I'll be keeping my eyes open for is whether HeroMarine takes a 3rd base early. Because he could try to hit a really sharp stim timing, because knowing that it's Phoenix also means that stuff like Blink would be delayed or Robotics Bay would be delayed. So we can see a Robo Base coming in. But like, if he goes for Colossus, he's not going to have Thermal Lance anytime soon, you know what I mean?
I know what you're saying.
Or he's going to have max like 1 or 2 Disruptors, and Stim Marines could kill that.
Yeah, at the same time, Disruptors kind of get countered by medevacs, but with a Phoenix in play, could that be the equalizer for the Protoss players?
Yeah,
is that a thing?
It totally could be. It'd make it hard to dive on like a Colossus, especially if you force like 1 or 2 stims. That's why having that early medevac from the mine drop is really important, because he's going to move out with 3 medevacs instead of the normal 2.
It will be Colossus first in production, as well as +1 attack from SKilllous. So maybe we're looking at a timing. I mean, the +1 attack is going to make it so that there's pretty much no use in moving out before that, and he has much work to do in terms of getting there and getting an army.
It does kind of look like Phoenix Colossus right now, which is very weird. He's going to try and sneak this drop around the side. I don't hate it, but at the same time, I'm also like, I guess because he has the 3 medevacs, instead of moving out with 3, he's like, I'm just going to do it like this. Nice grab here on that Marauder.
Yeah, he's very, very diligent as well, Big Gabe. If you look at the medevac, it's going all the way to the corner of the map almost. But the Phoenixes are not in position, so He's going to take a little bit of a shortcut, even uses the boost as he realizes he can. And, well, SKilllous is going to be out of position for this.
Yeah. So the army won't be in place, and he did get a Colossus, but Cats, he never started extended thermal lance. So
yeah, it's the mine drop that I'm worried about. This is going to be fine for SKilllous. Will the mines, will he react in time? And he does. Very well done.
Yeah, but he's still stretched a bit thin, and the Colossus is not like the Big Daddy Colossus that we normally talk about because he just doesn't have the thermal lance. So Big Gabe is going to swing his way around the outside towards the third, drops just 4 Marines, and then he's going to drop the rest in the main. But look at this, pulling probes to fight Marines. Yeah, that's never a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if he had picked up a couple of them with the Phoenixes, but the Phoenixes are preoccupied with the drop in the main as well, and this was all in all pretty good for Big Gabe, I want to say, even though he's going to lose most of the units here.
Yep, and he just needs to keep macroing. How there's some things worth mentioning. God, more probes. He's still killing probes. Worth mentioning is that his third command center is extremely late. That doesn't matter anymore.
Nah, the economy is way too far ahead for Big Gabe right now at 46 workers versus 37 now.
Oh my God, SKilllous is like A-moving across the map. Cats.
I like this.
He's got 2 Colossus, but do you though? Well, you know he's missing a pretty important upgrade.
Yeah, but what are you going to do, Nate? I mean, he just lost his economy. He's not going to catch up on that front, right? Protoss wants to be ahead, like you said.
Take a 4th and start a Dark Shrine. He doesn't have Colossus range. What universe does this work? There's so many Marauders. Marauders have the same range as a Colossus. Did you know that without the upgrade? It's bad news. It's bad news bears all the way down.
Yeah, that's a lot of Marauders too, but a lot of them will get picked off before the fight starts, so this is something. And there's not very many Marines to take care of the Phoenixes, so if the Phoenix dive the medevacs, I feel like a lot of damage could be done. And Big Gabe is going for further economical damage, but I think SKilllous has to capitalize on the army, not so much advantage, but the fact that it's close, like it's a winnable fight. I think.
Good God, 11 probes get blown up.
Yeah, I mean, this is it.
You're not wrong. He does kind of have to do something. I just thought maybe doing something like weirdly greedy, or at least starting thermal lance, and it's just be like, okay, well, I'm going to chrono the crap out of this while I do my all-in. But 2 Colossi without range.
Yeah, third one on the way too.
What are you going to do?
Something, please.
The Marauders just right-click on the Colossus. You can't even kite.
Well, I don't like that he pulled back, honestly. I mean, there was so much commitment from Big Gabe. There was a lot of army traded for economy. These mines do further damage on the other side of the map, and then SKilllous just pulls back. And this is very scary for me because now he's going to be falling behind in every regard as the economy makes it so that HeroMarine can make more units than him, right? He's just going to have way more than in
what troubles me is that not only has he still not even started Thermal Lance, he's still building Colossi. Disruptors feel like they'd be the best like YOLO comeback unit.
Sure.
Like assuming that you cannot win a fight head to head no matter what. Like a disruptor would just do it better as far as like rolling
it's
the
a
dice.
bigger risk reward unit, right? Like if you get a huge disruptor shot, then that can offset things.
Yeah. So he gets he's gonna come up on the from the high ground. Actually, it's just a great spread by HeroMarine.
It's also a good position for SKilllous to fight, though.
Yeah, I mean the Vikings and just target the Colossus though, and like the Marauders should be able to kill all of them easily. He doesn't have Thermal Lance. He doesn't have Colossus range, so all the Colossi die. And I think his only saving grace is that maybe the Marines are dead and it's just Marauders, so he could try to fly over and lift up the Marauders.
He does have a lot of energy, so I think eventually he'll clean this up. Somehow the supply is pretty even right now.
SKilllous put a good couple of chrono boosts into his probes. He cranked them out, and the third was very late for HeroMarine.
Okay, do you think he's caught up then economically, or would you say HeroMarine still has a hefty advantage? It's a 10-worker difference.
He hasn't. His Twilight Council is still not done yet. Like this whole game right now is just hinging on the Phoenix, because I don't think even with 2 Colossi, he will have range soon, but just 2 Colossus isn't going to do it. Like because he has 7 Vikings, he's got 14 Marauders, the Sentries all got killed. Replacing any of those is really, really expensive right now. I think maybe you drop a turret in your third.
Probably.
Bleeding out. Yeah, there we go. And then you try to move out again. Honestly, I think that'd be the best play. Like, you're still worried about getting caught off guard by Phoenix, and maybe the medevac count becomes an issue, but he's milling a few ghosts. Like 1 or 2 EMPs on the Phoenix, and everything should just die really, really fast. But the entire game is still just on the Colossus for the most part. And all he needs to do is not have all of the Marines die. If the Marines survive the fight to keep the Phoenix off the medevacs and the Vikings, then I think the game is over. Because his bio army is still really huge.
All right, I really like this for SKilllous though. Now the roles are being switched in terms of who's doing what, and SKilllous is now taking a good economic lead. So if he can somehow hold Nate.
Good EMP. I mean, it's interesting timing on the EMP because he gets rid of a lot of energy on him, but he's not able to really kill many of them. But he needs to move out. The army supply says a lot about the state of this game because SKilllous is going to build an Immortal. He's got 3 Colossi, but there's only 1 Sentry.
Yeah.
So a single well-placed force field, and he can just stem a move. There's no Storm. There's no Disruptors. There's only going to be 1 Immortal, and it's not ready yet. That Zealots are getting warped in. They don't have charge.
Yeah, Sentries get warped in as well, and that's the right idea. If he can fight half of the army twice, then that might... I don't like this.
But look at this. The Phoenix aren't even here, so he's able to kill a Colossus before the fight actually starts.
It's all over.
Second Colossus is dead. And number 3. GG.
GG. In 3.
Get in the body bag.
All right.
HeroMarine takes game 1. Very well done. I mean, SKilllous, he was like trying to do some stuff to get the game back going, but like if he has range, like squeeze that out.
Yeah, I personally would have liked for him to push at the point where, you know, you've lost so much.
Yeah, when he wants to counter like that, start range, chrono it, and cross the map. But I mean, the real answer is I think he just forgot that he didn't have range. He probably did not intentionally forget to get range, as it's the #1 thing that makes the Colossus a useful unit. But Phoenix Colossus we don't really see. I'll say that. That was kind of interesting take on it.
Not for a while. Back in the day, there was Jim from China.
It's been a hot second. Unfortunately, he lost out on the advantage of going for early Phoenix because the Widowmine still killed all of his probes. Although he did make the mine drop come in pretty late, and it was 8 Marines really that did it. Pulling probes against Marines, no.
I loved how Big Gabe did it as well, just dropping the 4 Marines at the third base and then going into the main 3-pronged attack. Very difficult to defend.
Yeah, so Terraned pretty hard there, SKilllous. And we go to Acropolis for game number 2. This map really fun, TvP-wise. TY does a lot of fun TvP builds on this map.
Why? What's cool about it?
You can't blink into the main outside. It's like the only map in the last... I think Port Alexander might have been a tricky one to blink into the main, but almost every map, there's like a giant cliff that you can just blink up.
And terms feel the need to account for this in their build orders.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the reasons why like the Tech Lab is getting like that stim buff.
Right.
It's literally so that you don't feel as pressured by the Protoss doing that. And on some maps like New Repugnancy, it's actually really, really like a problematic thing that you always have to be aware of it and account for it, and you're really claustrophobic about leaving your base. But like guys like TY that I watch, and they'll do like these funny greedy builds where they'll skip something and they'll focus everything at the front because they don't have to worry about the backstab as much. Like obviously a Prism or an Oracle can still come in, but Acropolis TvP is the least claustrophobic, I would say. You have that high ground in front of your forts. You're like sometimes you can spread Templar on it, but
cool.
I like this map for TvP.
All right. Let's hope it's a good one then. I think SKilllous had good ideas going into the game. I think he probably researched Big Gabe. It didn't matter too much in the end, but let's see if he can get another build order advantage and capitalize on it.
Yeah, he did. He did the research. He looked for the Vons. He's like, oh, Big Gabe's pretty big. Guess I got it. I've come to the conclusion. Big Gabe is big.
That is a...
And my deep analytical commentary has brought
I mean,
us
it's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate. He's a big man. In spirit.
Damn. No, it's like you research peanut butter sandwich. It's peanut buttery. We figured it out, guys. We broke it down. Oh, this is the European broadcast. People don't know what peanut butter is. I'm sorry, guys. I should mention it's like Nutella. Yeah. They're like, oh yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we researched Nutella. It's peanut buttery. There you go. Analogy complete. We're
not sure about
game 2. Bottom right, we have the red Protoss player. He's SKilllous.
And on the top left-hand side, I started way early there, huh?
Yeah, get that guitar riff going.
It is the blue Terran player, HeroMarine. $100,000 in earnings.
Nice.
At a young age.
The dream. So conversely, SKilllous, you can block the Reaper Cliff on this map with a single pylon. So he's walling off at the front to start because he won't need his first pylon to block that. If he were to see with this probe scout that there was a proxy Reaper, he could easily block the front with like his cybernetics core, and then he could just block with his second pylon in the main. So he could completely
skip a unit.
Yeah, he could completely
cool.
he could completely insulate himself from Reapers if he wanted to. So this that makes this one of the worst Reaper maps.
What if you go Nexus right now and then isolate yourself?
No, I think you would want to go Nexus first, but it's possible that he's also doing a cheese build because he took his second gas pretty early.
This would be really sad if he doesn't mineral walk. Oh no!
Wow.
Yeah, that is very unusual for this caliber of play.
Maybe SKilllous wants him to think that though, because he walled blindly anyway. He's not being proxied. He walled blindly, and he didn't put the pylon to block his cliff. He's gonna build, I assume, a Stargate. I don't know what else it would be. You'd want to proxy a Robo, but he's chronoing out the Adept. Maybe he wants to try and delay the command center. I don't think he'll be able to. It's Twilight Council, and there's the Robo.
Okay, so not a full wall off, not a quick Nexus. We're gonna see the Twilight Council, like you said. What comes off of this, you think?
With an Adept opening? I think the second built unit he builds out of the gateway is going to tell us, because the Adept might just be anti-Reaper. I don't think he's going to do like one base resonating glaives.
Oh, he's crossing the map. He's going for the CC delay, as you mentioned. He's not going to make it, though.
He's not going to make it. I'd be very impressed.
Is he going to make it? Well, he's going to make it, Nate.
He's going to make it.
As we said.
The second SCV was there. He can hide in the bunker. Go in the bunker! Okay, the Reaper is back.
Yeah, but what good does that do? You need those 2 Marines. I guess with these it should be doable, or is that
not? Yeah, no, he should be fine. He did delay it a little bit.
The Reaper dies.
I put the... if he put the SCV in the bunker, he could have got this done a little bit fast.
Great micro by Big Gabe here.
Good Reaper control. Yeah, losing the Reaper would really hurt. Not that it... Okay, actually I'm going to change my mind. Losing the Reaper doesn't matter, because there's literally no way inside this base. Even if unless his Reaper could literally fly, like it was co-op. But it's going to be a DT drop.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's why you would completely wall yourself in. You're telling the Terran player you have to scan me, or you don't get to know what I'm doing this game.
Okay, and scan is kind of the way that you would deal with DTs. So maybe if you scan, that becomes problematic too.
No, that's a good point. If he scans for information, then he will have one less scan for defense. And I don't know, because he went for the medevac. Is he gonna... Oh, we're gonna get a Raven? When you don't know what the Protoss is doing, Raven is always a good call. I do like this.
Nice. All right, so Raven it is. And Marines, no medevac, so Big Gabe doesn't really have much of a chance to move out anytime soon. But he is the defender. The DT is gonna show well before the Raven is out, though. But the first scan goes up, and very nice bait by Big Gabe.
Now, second DT shows up in the natural. 2 SCVs killed. And should get this third one that just rallied out, or maybe not. Okay.
Yeah, but the Raven will be popping up soon. So this is very, very well done by Big Gabe. I really like the mind games that he plays. Like with the Reaper, he was microing before he got hit, right? He was baiting the Adept to forward so that he could do damage with the Marines. And something similar here, he lets the DT through, doesn't react with his units, I want to say on purpose, and then lifts the...
Well, that was the Prism brought a DT in the back, so he loses 3 Dark Templar, and guess what?
What?
He's doing a blink opening.
Oh, that's... All right, that's the blink opening, isn't it?
Yep, that's the same one we saw yesterday.
Okay.
Do you think he'll execute it better than our NA player? This is your European opportunity, guys. We need to see if the European Protoss can perform this strategy to the caliber of our NA memer M-canning yesterday. Yeah. Is he going to go for the 11 DT blink push? That's my real question.
I'm going to say 9.
9 DTs?
9.
Okay. So some people I saw, you know, I was watching the ESPN analysis breakdown of the M-canning match because, you know, they always follow him. I got the special subscription. And they were saying, you know, they think that M-canning was maybe just being a little bit too adventurous with the 11 DTs. 9 is his number.
And if you want to say no to a German player, what do you say?
9.
Indeed. So let's see if he's able to make that happen. It seems like he might just go with a 4.
This, God, look at the turret up front too, and the Marines are all in the back. There's no way. I don't.
No chance, Jose, as they say.
Yeah. He's gonna blink onto these Marines and instantly die. Yeah. And he's trying to decide how deep he wants to go in. Look at that supply drop, that beautiful depot skin. HeroMarine.
Oh, there they go.
There's the blink in the back. Okay, so Zealots up front.
Nice around, very
Great
nice
sandwich.
around. Okay.
Chat, get your Protoss ready.
That would be something else. I mean, nothing had worked up until this point. It's the Blink DTs that are kind of doing it. Beautiful micro as well by SKilllous as he becomes inspired.
Channeling the power of M. Canning is SKilllous right now. Not having combat shield hurts so much because normally you don't think about it in the early game, but it does save you from being one-shot by the DTs early on, and that's not good. Interference Matrix to disable the Prism.
Very nice job, Big Gabe.
He needs to get rid of that Prism.
And he will.
Good cleanup. Still absolutely ravaged. There's still a DT and a Zealot alive in the main. The Zealot in the natural, whacking away at the engineering bay. That build is it's such an annoying strategy to go up against.
Well, it was great capitalizing from SKilllous too, because he found all the Marines clumped up against the minerals. So there was nowhere for them to run, even though there wasn't that many Protoss units, right? So he got sandwiched really hard by virtue of having minerals on one side, CC on the other side, and then Protoss units on the other two sides. Perfect square.
Yep. Well, I mean, charged Zealots, even without upgrades, are still really strong. That damage they do, the 8 damage on the hit, really helps get through that as well. So there's nothing here. He's just going to attack. I think he's just going to kill HeroMarine. Like, this drop is nice, so he's going to try and force some sort of base trade level thing, I guess.
Yeah, SKilllous is actually going to pull back. So this could be okay for HeroMarine here. He's done so much damage.
He's going to scan. You want to get rid of the DT first. We don't mind detonates, but the natural, though. Like, he's got the Ravens still there. No! Oh, not closing the depot is a huge mistake. He drops the auto turret. Okay, that's nice. Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was the Great Debate. But the Prism's here. Ruh-roh. You're going to let a Protoss warp stuff into your base? You're going to let him do it to you like that?
It's scary. Big Gabe trying to micro his heart out on the other side of the map as well. So this is and SKilllous now moving in with the Zealots. Now those don't need that much micro. You just kind of warp them in.
Just kind of A-click and they kind of do everything for you.
Yeah, but not doing enough here. HeroMarine, however, just at 10 workers, so not quite equalizing.
But the Prism is still sieging his main, isn't it? Okay, now it finally moved away. Oof. Okay, well he's getting a Viking, so that will be nice. A few Stalkers warped in because he's like, I'm not enjoying this Ring Around the Rosie game that we're playing for a medevac.
Yeah, and these Stalkers do not have blink.
Nope. What a weird game. What a game.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a great job so far, SKilllous, to bring it back. I think he did very well in that one fight, and now he's well back in the game. Even, would you say ahead? I mean, the worker count is so important here.
Oh, caught him. That's beautiful. The worker count's big, but Terran has mules, and he doesn't necessarily need to save scans, right? Because he's got the Raven. And there was also no anti-air. Those two Stalkers were built out of, like, him probably just getting frustrated. But because neither player is like really upgrade heavy right now, that +1 attack is invaluable for HeroMarine. And then we also have to keep in mind that HeroMarine, with this many Marines, he's not worried about the Zealots anymore.
Oh, he gets in again.
Blink, man. Good.
Yeah, but he didn't blink through the depot. The depot could have been closer, so a little bit of a mistake by Big Gabe might cost them an SCV.
Okay, killing that DT is really nice. Resources lost heavily favors Big Gabe.
Yeah, it's still a pretty close game though. It's gonna come down to whether SKilllous can defend this. He's still 10 workers ahead. When the worker counts are that low, I feel like mules. No, mules are pretty good.
Well, the big problem, honestly, there's two things to keep in mind. One, HeroMarine has access to a Dorito cannon. So in center mass of those Zealots, he could dab on him and take his hand off his mouse keyboard, aim, move, and stem and win this game with the Dorito cannon in the middle of those Zealots. And SKilllous, because he lost that Prism, yes, he made another one and is sending it now, but this game may be over by the time it actually reaches his base. So there we go.
Yeah, not the best Dorito. Yeah.
But I would hit
it's like a cool ranch Dorito.
What's wrong with Cool Ranch?
It's not the greatest for sure. Do you think that's the greatest?
Well, you're talking to somebody who's from the Boondocks, so yes. It's much better than the nacho cheese one.
All right. Well, he kind of holds. He was kind of trapped inside his base, realized that Big Gabe was moving a little bit too late, but I think there was no reason to be inside anyway.
I think he still kills him here. He's killed a bunch of SCVs on the other side of the map. Those two stalkers should be desperately trying to kill the Raven.
Yeah, there's no money for weapons.
They fail. GG! HeroMarine Dr. Gabriel himself manages to take the first series of the day 2-0. Very well done.
An exciting one.
Yeah.
I thought SKilllous had it for a bit there, so.
I thought he did it with when he blunk on top in the back line of those Marines and all of them died. I'm like, this is where it falls apart because you think as a Terran player, and I've been in this situation, where you're like, oh yeah, I got the bunker, I got the turret, and you even have the Raven, and I'm just gonna sit back and chill. You know what the real meme is though?
What?
You can use interference matrix on Dark Templar.
Wait, can you
know
really?
That? Yes.
And they won't attack?
Psionic. Yeah, they won't do anything, and they're revealed.
But that interference matrix, as it was used, and when the warpins were coming in, that was game safe.
For the warpins, it was important, but when he dropped 2 auto turrets by the bunker when the Zealots first showed up, and then they all just ran past it, which was like... Because the DTs one-shotting the Marines are the reason why that strategy is so good. Because it's not like you have a lot. You're just like, well, I'm just one-tapping the Marines. He can't kill them faster than I reduce the DPS. But anyway, really well done by HeroMarine. He's going to go into the winners match of this group. SKilllous is still alive, of course. He will be able to play in the lower bracket match. But we have to do our other match before that. Coming up next, we've got a Protoss versus Protoss. It is going to be Petite Drogo up against your least favorite internet browser error, DNS. We'll see you on the other side.